Hi everyone, welcome to lecture of Introductory Biostatistics for BSN students. Today we will learn how to organize raw data and display it properly using tables and graphs. In nursing research, collecting data is not enough. We must present it clearly so that it can be understood and interpreted correctly. There are two paths to organization of data. The first path is quantitative, discrete, and qualitative data. The second part is quantitative continuous data. In discrete and qualitative types of data, we make a single value frequency table, calculate cumulative and relative frequency, and visualize with bar diagrams and pie charts. On the other hand, quantitative continuous variable, we construct frequency table with classes, compute mid intervals, calculate range with and classes, visualize with histogram. The frequency table of a particular data value means the number of times that value appears in the dataset. A frequency table is constructed by arranging data values in ascending order along with their corresponding frequencies. For example, if 10 patients have blood group A, then the frequency of blood group A is 10. This method helps us summarize large amount of data in a simple format. The foundation of frequency table is telemarks. When we have a raw data, first we telemarks it and then construct the frequency table. Case study 1. The psychiatry department scenario sample size of 20 patient data represents number of visits. The problem raw data sequence and number of visits. The solution single value frequency table. Number of visits X and the frequency F. Here number of visits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and frequency 1 visit frequency is 2, 2 visits frequency is 6 and so on. 5 visits frequency is 20 and the total number of sample size or patient is 20. Relative frequency or proportion. Relative frequency represents the proportion for each category present in the frequency table. Proportion absolute frequency total number of cases multiplied by 100. Relative frequency represents the proportion of percentage of each category. It is calculated as the frequency and the total number of observation. Consider the previous example. Number of visits is 2 and the total number of frequency is 20 and the frequency is 6. We divide for relative frequency 6 divided by 20 is equal to 0.30 and the multiply by 100 the 30%. Relative frequency for visit 2 is 30%. Cumulative proportion shows the proportion of observations falling below or above a certain class, including that class. It is very useful when analyzing age groups, income groups, or clinical measurements. For example, we can determine what percentage of the patient are aged below 50 years. Here, our relative frequency percentage is 10% for number of visit 1 and for number of visit 2 is 30% and so on. For number of visit of 5, 20% is our relative frequency. For the cumulative relative frequency, first frequency we write same as 10% and add the relative frequency of second visit and first visit. 10 plus 30 is equal to 40%. Cumulative relative frequency is 40%, and then 40% plus 25% relative frequency. The for the third visit, 65%, and so on. And the last total frequency is add up 100%. Histogram in SPSS. The option is Analyze Descriptive Statistics Frequencies. Charts button show the bar charts, pie charts, and histogram with show normal curve on his histogram. Visualizing discrete data, bar and pie charts. When data is continuous and the sample size is large, we cannot list every value individually. Instead, we divide data into class intervals. Before constructing a grouped frequency table, we must determine range, class width, and number of classes, K. For example, frequency table of a continuous data. Given data of 100 adult males 30 to 84 years of age, make a frequency table. The first we find the range of the data. The minimum age is 30 and the maximum age is 84. So the range is 54. Width. Class width is the size of each interval. Usually class width depends on the range and total observation. If range is above 50 and sample size is large, we may choose class width of 10, for example 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 to 59, and so on. Too few interval may hide important information, and too many intervals may confuse interpretations. Generally, we use 6 to 15 number of classes. Our formula K is greater than or equal to R divided by W. This ensures pupil summarization of data. This ins- ensures proper summarization of data. Step 1. Determine range and width. Range is 54 and the width is 10. Convenient choice for classes of tens. K is greater than or equal to R divided by W. 54 divided by 10 is equal to 5.4. Round up, K is equal to 6. Constructing the class interval, 30 plus 10 width is 30 to 39.9 and 40 to 49.9 and 50 to 59.9, and the width is 10. Class interval. The continuous frequency table construct tally marks with this class. Here 30 to less than 40 and 40 to less than 50. Here the frequency is 18 in first class, and in second class 42 less than 50 class is 14, and so on. In the last class the frequency is 4 and the total number of observation is 100. Relative and cumulative frequency. When we divide 18 with 100, the percentage of relative frequency is 18, and the cumulative is the same percent for the first class interval, and the next is 14% frequency, relative frequency, and so on. The last relative frequency is 4%, and the cumulative relative frequency for the second in class interval is 32, which is 18 plus 14, and the next one is 78, which is 46 plus 32, and so on. The last cumulative relative frequency percentage is 100. In SPSS, to find maximum and minimum values, first we enter data in data view, and in variable view we create the variable properties. Then we go to analyze option, and then go statistics, descriptive statistics, and frequencies, and select the move age variable in the variables, and then press button statistics, and then select the option minimum, maximum, and range, and press OK button. The output window show the range, maximum value, and minimum value of the dataset. Creating a column with class in SPSS. To create class interval in SPSS, use transform recode into different variable, define old and new values to create age groups. This helps in generating group frequency table easily. In this slide, first we write the old value. The old value is 30 to 39.9, and the new value is 1, and press the add button, and we create this variable name is age class, and the value is class is 1 for 30 to less than or equal to 40, and press button add, and we add the all. After creating groups, go to analyze descriptive statistics frequencies, select age category variable. SPSS will generate frequency percentage, valid percentage, and cumulative percentage automatically. This is very useful in nursing research data analysis. In this SPSS, uh, we move the age category in variables and press the charts button and select the histogram or pie charts, histogram for age category, pie chart for age category, and histogram for age variable, and press the continue button and press OK button. This slide show the frequency table and histogram and pie chart of the age variable. In today's lecture, we learned how to organize and display data using frequency table, relative and cumulative frequencies, and graphical methods. These concepts are fundamental for understanding research papers and performing your own data analysis in nursing research. In the next lecture, we will move towards measure of central tendency. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for the complete BSN Biostatistics lecture series. Thank you so much.
Please subscribe and like our channel and press bell icon for more videos.